The moving truck had barely finished unloading when the first complaint came in. "He's parked too close to my driveway," said Mr. Carter, peering through his blinds. And his music was a bit urban. By urban, he meant soft jazz. The new neighbors had moved into a stunning white brick house on Magnolia Lane, one of those quiet, polished suburbs where all the mailboxes match and smiles are tight. Jason and Nicole Bennett didn't fit the mold. He was tall, dark-skinned, clean-cut. She wore her natural hair in a halo of coils, dressed in elegance and ease. Their little daughter danced barefoot across the lawn, laughing as Bubbles followed her. But to some of the neighbors, they were a threat. Not because of noise. Not because of behavior. Because of color. A few days later, Jason was pulling weeds when a white woman in yoga pants approached. "You just moved in, right?" she asked. He stood and smiled. "Yes, Jason." She shook his hand. "Stephanie. Just a heads up, the HOA is strict around here, as though she owns her own house. We try to keep lawns tidy, trash bins hidden, you know." Jason looked at his perfectly neat yard and raised an eyebrow. "Appreciate the tip." As she walked off, she muttered, "Didn't expect someone like you to afford this area." Jason heard it. Clear as day. He said nothing. That night, Nicole sighed as she shut the blinds. "3 people slowed down today just to stare at me unpacking groceries." Jason kissed her forehead. "Let them stare. They'll know who we are soon enough." 1 week later, the community called a special meeting. Rumors flew. The new family was under review. Petty things: trash can too close to curb, wind chimes too loud, car too shiny. Nicole wanted to stay home. Jason didn't. They dressed up. He wore a gray blazer and a calm smile. She wore strength in her posture. When they walked into the clubhouse, the room went still. The estate president cleared his throat. "Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, we've received concerns." Jason nodded. "I'd like to address those concerns." He pulled a folder from his briefcase. "Here's documentation of all city codes we've followed. And this," he passed a paper around, "is my name. Jason Bennett, civil rights attorney. My wife, Dr. Nicole Bennett, is chief of neurology at St. Mary's Hospital. We came here to raise our daughter in peace, not to shrink ourselves to make others feel bigger." A beat of silence. No one moved. The estate committee warned them and they returned home. But the complaints didn't stop. First it was the trash bins being visible from the street. Then it was their daughter's chalk drawings on the driveway. Then Jason's car was too shiny for a residential area. Every day, there was something. But Jason and Nicole never argued. They waved when waved at, smiled when frowned at, kept their lawn trimmed, their porch light warm, and their hearts guarded. "Why don't we say something?" Nicole once asked, watching another neighbor glare as they walked by. Jason sipped his tea. "Because we don't have to. Let them learn the hard way." One Saturday afternoon, they were tending to their flower bed when a luxury black car pulled up in front of their house. A man stepped out, well-dressed, clean-cut, clipboard in hand. "Mr. and Mrs. Bennett?" Jason stood. "Yes?" The man smiled. "I'm Jordan Marks, senior partner at West Edge Realty. I represent the previous developer of Magnolia Lane. I've been asked to facilitate the full transfer of estate management to you this week. Just here to confirm a few final signatures." Nicole raised a brow. "You mean, you're finalizing it publicly now?" "Yes, Jordan said, nodding. "The full ownership has been under Bennett Holdings for almost 6 months, but this will make it official with the city. You'll now appear on all HOA records, property rights, park permits, you know, all the juicy stuff." From across the street, Stephanie, the same woman who had once questioned if Nicole knew how HOA works, was watering her plants. She froze. Other neighbors peeked from behind curtains. Word had already started to spread. The black couple they whispered about owned the entire estate. Later that evening, the doorbell rang. Stephanie stood there, awkward and small. "I didn't realize who you were," she said. "If I had known." Nicole gently cut in. "Would it have changed how you treated us?" Stephanie opened her mouth but didn't speak. Jason stepped forward, calm as ever. "Respect shouldn't come after a resume. But maybe now you'll remember that. She looked down. You're right. I'm sorry. He nodded once. Good night. They closed the door. Not out of anger. Just peace. Inside, their daughter danced across the living room, bubbles floating from her little machine. Nicole watched her and smiled. Let them talk, she whispered. We'll just keep living. Real power doesn't need to shout. Sometimes, the strongest statement is silence, and the best revenge is grace wrapped in success. Did you enjoy this story? Subscribe for more